Hi, good morning. Hope you've all had a wonderful Easter. Today I'm going to introduce you to one of my new dolls. As you've seen from the thumbnail who she is. Now, she's been on, well, not this particular one, but the original range has been on my wish list for a long time. Just, you know, life gets in the way, so it never actually happened. And then, as you've seen, she is a near Harmonia bloom, and that is the reason I've been able to get her, because Goodsmile, who makes Harmonia bloom, have made this entry-level doll. They're calling it entry level because she has less articulation and things like that. I'm going to go through the details as we go along, because there are a couple of different versions of this doll. Now, here she is, beautifully boxed, really impressed with this. I actually got it from, let me get the name right, it is Hobby Link Japan. Now, I had lots of shalashantas regarding ordering her. There were a couple of sites in the UK who said I could order it, but it kept referring to back order and sort of pre-orders and all, and I didn't want that. I wanted to, like, I want to get it now, I want to pay for it, I want to get it, end of. So it got very confusing, and in the UK obviously it was more expensive purely because they're shipping it in and I wasn't, so, and then there was free shipping. But when I started to look at, like I say, I got it from this Japanese site, to be honest, the price wasn't any different. I mean, I've written down again, I'm going to get my paper because I'm going to get this wrong, because I've got a piece of paper here with all the information on. Now, I actually paid for her, I paid 6,477 yen. I can't even speak today, which at the time translated to £34.53. Now, obviously, with the market being like it is at the moment, things are going to alter, so you always need to check what the conversion rates are when you buy something at the moment. Now, fair enough, that was like, wow, because in the UK ones, they were £60 to £70, but I'm thinking, but I don't pay for the shipping fees, in and ahhing. So I had a look and I thought, you know, I'm gonna go for it from Hobby Link Japan. And when I looked at the postage, you had a choice. You could do like snail mail, which wasn't so expensive, which was for shipping, as in on a boat shipping, or you could pay for someone like DHL, which I paid for, which was a much quicker service. In fact, so quick, I was blown away. It was a little complicated to follow their website, but basically you order something and then they have this thing called a personal warehouse. And as soon as your item goes into your warehouse, they message you and say, right, it's there. So what sort of shipping do you want? And you get all these options of different types of shipping. I picked DHL. It was the most expensive, but it was a shipping company I was familiar with. It was the fastest, I mean, really fast. I think ultimately it was only like about 6 days that I got this doll through. So that was brilliant. But the shipping was, I'll tell you in yen first, it was, let me get it, it was 5,670 yen, almost as much as the doll, which was £30.23. And I'm like, yeah, but added together, I mean, the total added together, again, got it written down because otherwise I'd forget. I'm saying I've got it written down. I've got it written down on my other piece of paper, which I've now moved, which was a lot of good. But it's approximately £60. I'll let you do in the adding up. So I'm like, it's still actually cheaper than getting it from the UK. Plus she was in stock, plus it was quicker. But was I going to get customs? So I took a risk. And I thought, well, because she's not so expensive, if I did get customs, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would only be a small amount compared with if I'm buying a smart doll, for example. So I thought, right, I'll go for it. As it turns out, I paid no customs. Was I lucky? I don't know. Or was it included within that DHL expensive postage? Now, if it was, that £30-ish was well worth paying for the delivery. And I wouldn't think twice about buying from this company again, because again, they had them in stock, and that's what I wanted. I get very nervous about sort of doing pre-orders and back orders and paying for things, and then you don't know when it's coming, and it can sometimes, with some dolls, it can take forever. I know some people who buy the resin dolls and that, and I know, fair enough, they are proper pre-orders, you know, they're being made and all this sort of thing. You expect to wait. But I think, particularly when sort of postage and prices are going up and down all over the place, That's a scary risk unless you're not worried about the cost when it comes to. So I'm quite pleased with that. I will follow that route again, but I could have had cheaper shipping if I wanted. But would I have then ended up with customs? I don't know. I couldn't find any information on that. If any of you know whether perhaps I got away without any customs because of the high postage, was it included? Please let me know. I know a lot of countries at the moment are having issues with all this. I mean, we've always paid sort of customs if the items are over a certain amount, and believe you me, it's not very much, that amount. So it's not really been much different to us because we pay anyway. But I know for some of you, it's painful. I mean, I really do feel for you. I can't imagine what it must be like to suddenly be getting these bills just to get something in like this. But I'm very, very happy. I will use them again, but I will always check the rates because I did go back on today just to get some details of the doll and the prices are up. Be careful. Check it out. Check all the different options. I mean, I think I took about 10 days checking. I kept going on different sites every day. I was getting sort of advice from my son who orders things from Japan. I'm like, shall I, shan't I? I was like, but I'm really pleased I did do what I finally did. Now, I mentioned she's a near Harmonia bloom. That is why she is that price. Now, I still desperately want the original Harmonia bloom. There's actually, well, 3 sort of categories, but then there's subcategories within that. We have our Harmonia bloom, we have our humming Harmonia, and we have our now near Harmonia. So this makes it easier for people to get into the collecting of her. She looks the same, but as I mentioned, less articulation. She has a printed face, whereas the others have hand painted faces, and she has sort of a plastic type eye, which to be honest look really nice compared with the glass eye. So, and the clothing is way, way more simple, whereas some of the others, I mean, they are outstanding. I know I've looked at some of the outfits. I think Goodsmile are really good at this, as we've found now with the Blythe doll. The detailing on some of the clothing is exquisite, and I think that looks like it's going to be the same for if you're buying the higher end Harmonia bloom. Again, I've got a few prices here, a few bits of information regarding that, but again, these prices vary all over the place. I mean, for example, I've got here for Harmonia bloom herself, and remembering the name means harmony of flowers. How cute is that? But the prices, they can vary. We're looking at £300 to £400, a lot of money. I mean, we're almost talking towards sort of smart doll prices here. But they are gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful. But again, they will vary down to rarity, down to whether they've been discontinued, whether people are selling them on eBay, whether you get them direct from the shop. You really do need to do some serious shopping. The humming Harmonia humming, I think it's that way around, is a little bit less. But again, I'm not seeing much of that. So I don't know whether it's one that's sort of carried on that much. I presume she does sort of still exist, but she's more of a kawaii anime sort of style. And again, her prices from what I've looked at some eBay, etc., just to get a rough estimate. And again, you could be looking 200 plus, depending on the rarity of that doll. But she's got the same body as the original. So the original two have got loads of articulation, painted faces, hand painted faces, glass eyes, gorgeous clothes, and they are beautiful. But saying that, I am so happy. I've had a little sneak peek, but I've not took her out properly. I've not moved her much or anything like that, but I just wanted to see her face, and I think she's gorgeous. I would get another one of these. In fact, there's 3. Well, I saw 3 generally, UK sites, etc., but then there does appear to be another 3, but I don't know whether perhaps they're only in Japan. I don't know, but I love her. I'm going to be opening her, and yeah, I want another one. There's a surprise. I keep talking about rabbit holes like I did with the Sylvanians. I'm very, I don't know, eclectic with my collection, perhaps a little bit too eclectic, because I buy what makes me smile rather than necessarily having a particular collection. I do have collections around the rooms of different types of dolls, but usually not much more than a shelf full. I mean, fair enough, Barbies and Cindy's take a little bit more space. My smart dolls have their own shelf. And this is terrible now, I'm going to say, and my blinds are starting to spread, and now my... Yeah, I know. you know what it's like if you're a doll collector. But I'm still super happy with this. So we're going to go top down, have a good look at it. If you've got one of these, let me know. If you've got one of the others, let me know. See what you think. Because obviously I've got nothing to compare with at the moment. So if you've got one of the others, let me know what you think the comparisons is like. And is it worth that massive price difference? If you want the articulation, probably. But this girl takes the clothes. You can buy the clothes. And I wanted to make her clothes, so she's going to be perfect for me. But just pop a comment below. Say hi, if nothing else. If you do enjoy what I'm sort of muttering on about at times, please like and subscribe and share. And I'll see you in a second, top down, with our little near Harmonia, who's called Chatty. I wonder who she's named after. I will see you in a second. So here we are with my beautiful near Harmonia. Now, she's absolutely gorgeous. It says on the box here, painted non-scale articulator body. Now, that's something I've noticed recently. Perhaps it has been there before, but I've not noticed the wording. I suppose basically is because if something's scale, it has to match like a human body or an animal or whatever it's matching up against. Whereas a lot of dolls like this, I suppose like the blinds and everything, they're a little disproportionate. You wouldn't get a person of those proportions. So I'm presuming that's why it's non-scale. I don't know. Please correct me if I'm wrong there, because it's not something I've seen before. She's called Chatty, which I sort of joked in the intro saying I wonder who she's named after. That is why I picked this one, because yes, I know I don't always shut up when I should. So that is why I thought it was funny. Goodsmile company. Little pictures, again, just same sort of information there. A little bit more info on the back. We have a couple of photos of her, and she has green hair. Green is one of my favorite colors as well. And she just has a very simple little outfit. Whereas I mentioned before, the Harmonia blooms themselves, please look them up. They are gorgeous. Their outfits are quite outstanding. Now I'm just having a look. We've got it in various different languages here. It just mentions about you've got to be careful with color transfer. Oh yes, obviously don't leave. Now I've not seen this before. I know it is a case because I know you've got to be careful. It says that do not leave them in long periods of time in high temperatures. Well, obviously because of what they're made of. As you get discoloration, things like that. I know I've just been sorting some of my shelves out, and I got some of the, I don't know, the little face cases, the little Goodsmile face cases that you can pop a little face in it, if that makes sense. I got some when we went to Japan, 9 years ago now, and they've been on a shelf, and I've got them down to make them more visible, and I notice we have quite a bit of yellowing, so I need to check out yellowing anyway for my Cindy dolls, some of the furniture and that. And I know some of you have given me advice in the past, but my son mentioned, he just said to me, he says, oh, I've seen something, I'll find out and get back to you. That was it. But apparently there is products that we need to sort that out. It does actually say here, paintwork is partially done by hand. So they may have slight variations on each one, of course. So, you know, that's expected. But yeah, the box, we got a quality box there. And the beauty is, all I've undone was this. I wanted to keep this box, so I've been really careful with the box. I don't keep all my boxes, as you know, but some of them I do keep. And there she is. Oh, those are the other girls. So look at these. I love her lilac-y sort of hair. It looks grayer on the other pictures. And we've got a little blonde one there. And they've all got the same sort of outfits. Now, is there any more information there? Oh, we've got some more Harmonia. I keep on saying Harmonia. I really want one of these bags. I've seen other bags and they look really cute. So that's something I wouldn't mind getting. And then we've got all sorts of things. You can get wigs. You see, you could replace the eyes. If you don't like the plastic eyes, you buy glass eyes and pop them in. So different wigs. A few examples of some of the outfits there. And talk to you about the body types. There's so much information on there. We'd be here ages just having a read at that. But there are different sort of faces. This is a bit of a weird one. I can't make up my mind why, unless it's for people wanting to do face-ups, or is it for people to put on themselves? It's like an eyeshadow palette. Confused. So again, most of this is in Japanese, but you can get an idea. You can see the pictures. Oh, I've just seen there. I wonder what this is. I might have to check this out. It says that's the Harmonia Bloom site, but then it says slash pattern. Ooh, we'll have to have a look. On the other side, we've got some example. I mean, look at some of these outfits. These are a couple of the proper Harmonia Bloom. Not that she isn't proper. They have the seasonal range, and wow, there's just so many. Storybook range. I do like this one, but again, you can buy the outfit if you wanted to. You don't have to buy the full doll. You could buy this doll. The outfits still aren't cheap though, I must warn you, but they are sort of great quality. You can get a stain sort of cover body thing. There's various stands. There's just so many different things you can get. I mean, that's the Harmonia Humming, so that's the range we get with that. I'm wondering actually whether that means it's a case of more body parts. That you could get different body parts if you want to do your own face ups and things like that. There's just so, it's a bit of a minefield, to be honest. I was a little confused, but I'm still over the moon, and it's definitely an area I would be interested in moving into, but I need to do a bit of saving if I want a real one. So let's have a look. She's so cute, and look how easy this is. Look at this. Look at this. Now, why don't other dolls get a package like this? There's a ribbon around her neck and a piece of plastic there. That's as much as I can see. That's as far as I've gone. I've not taken her out. So I'm just going to put my hand there because I don't think she'll drop out because of this bit. But I wouldn't want her to drop out. I mean, how simple is that? And to be honest, for manufacturers, surely it's cheaper to pop a bit of ribbon around the doll rather than anything else. And I'm not sure where this plastic goes, so I've got to be a bit careful. I do have some scissors here. I'm going to just carefully cut it there. I think that bit is just holding her hair in place, so I don't want to cut any more in case I cut her hair. We have a little outfit here, which is just stuck on with some sort of sticky back tape. And then in with the cardboard, and that is it. As far as I can see, look at that. She's out. Bit of padding for her neck there, so I mean she's beautifully packaged, but it's about the looks like a face that. It's about the construction of the box to make it more solid. We have a little stand there as well, so there is no tags. It is amazing. I will put that to one side. I'll say I'll definitely be keeping the box as well. So I can take this off her hair. It's just, yeah, again, that is plastic, fair enough, but there's not really much, is there? And a little bit tape round her body. So it's just like a, I don't know, it's sticky tape, but not overly sticky. So here she is. How cute. Oh, we've got another one of these, and they just peel off. That's so easy. That is amazing. Now, they do have wigs. As you'll have seen on the pictures, there is some wigs. Oh, there we go. So, interchangeable wigs as well. Now, just look at that face. How pretty is she? Now, these are the plastic eyes, but I think they are lovely. I'm hoping you guys can see it well enough. And again, it's more of a printed on makeup. I'm not sure where the hand painting bit is, maybe the mouth or something like that. I mean, because these definitely look sort of printed on. So I can't see really how much of that would be hand painted, but that doesn't matter. So you can see she does have some articulation. So head is always my favourite because we can really cute see the style up, and she's got loads. There is loads of head movement there. So forward, back, and it's sort of quite extreme, so you can really make her look up. Now, back of the head, I'm always scared about taking these off. I don't know how they are on. I don't want to pull it too much because I'm scared we don't get it back on again, and also scared of damaging it. I know the heads do come off. We'll look at that in a minute because I'm not going to do it just yet. So you can change the eyes as I mentioned if you want. She does have a little bit of movement there. So not a lot, but there's a little bit. But apart from that, we're up and down, side to side. Same with the legs, up and down, no side to side, but that doesn't matter. Oh, what clicked? I hope that was a normal click. Basically, I like them to be able to sit down, and she can sit down. So yeah, not a lot of movement, but it's enough. She's got these little bloomers on, which are super cute. I will take them off because I want to see what just clicked. I hope it's okay. So you can see sort of how it works. Yeah, that's okay. You can sort of see where the legs are just sort of pegged in. Checking I've not damaged anything more than anything else. No, everything looks okay. She feels quite nice. You can hear the hollowness. Yeah. The legs are, I would say it's all the same. The legs and the arms do feel very, very fractionally more rubbery than this, but they sound about the same. So I still think they're like a hollow plastic. Obviously be careful with the joints there. So we're going to pop her underwear back on and we're going to get her dressed. Again, very nicely made. I mean, this is sort of quality making like I would expect from Goodsmile. So a little bag of clothes here. It's a very simple little dress. Not that it's simple to get into. Oh, there we are. Yay, got in. So you can see, but again, look at the quality of the making. Got a little label, which does say Goodsmile Company. But it's not just like it's just stuck on or it's one thin row of fabric or something like that. We have layers, we have tiny stitches, we have this gorgeous little sort of lemony yellow ruffle at the bottom and this little ruffle at the top. We velcroed. At this size you wouldn't expect much more. And let's see how easy this goes on, because she's sort of quite wide at the hips compared with the upper body, like a lot of dolls are. So I don't know whether I'm supposed to put it on this way. Do it even pull over her bottom? I don't know whether it will. Do I have to take her head off? No, it is. It's coming up. I hate taking heads off dolls. I know you have to sometimes for some outfits. But I just don't like doing it. Right, well, it's one of those where I've got to pull it down a bit to get the arms in first, because that's the only thing when there's no articulation. You do have to be careful. You're not going in, missus. I don't know whether you can, there are parts of you I can take apart, but I just don't want to. I wonder if it'd go on better without the underwear. Shall we try that? So, because obviously the body would be slippier, wouldn't it? So which way round do we do this? Right, we know it will go over her bottom, but it's then getting the arms in. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I bet I have to take her head off. I don't want to take her head off. Come on, Mrs. Chatty. Get your arm in there. Ah, we have an arm in, but we only have one in. But again, I don't want to push the joint too much because we know what can happen. I don't want joints popping and things like that. Right, I have both arms in. So yes, getting her dressed is a little bit of a pain. But we're in. We've done it. That wasn't actually that bad, was it? I think it's just me moaning. So we Velcro up. Fits very nicely there. Let's pop a little bloomers on. I think these are, oh, I put them on wrong way around. Look, they've even got a little bow. How cute is that? I'd put them on back to front last time. I suppose you could have the bow at the back. No real reason why not. Oh, there we go. So she's got her bloomers on. As you can see, she doesn't have any shoes or anything like that. So we're going to have a little research on what footwear. In fact, she's got very small feet there. I do have a midi Blythe here. Now, I'm just pinching her shoes. They're not actually her shoes. These are Shelley, Kelly, whatever it changes to, depending on what area we are. Barbie's little sister's shoes. These are ones I got quick and cheap. So they would actually fit. Actually look quite cute with this outfit, don't they? I have a few of these, a little bit big, but because they're boots, you can get away with it. So they might be worth looking at. You can sometimes pick these up on eBay, although people are getting sort of wise of how much they're worth, just a pair of shoes. But you can get them £3-4. You might even be lucky if someone's selling a job lot of them. So that might be something worth having a look at. If you've already got some shoes that you know fit, please let me know, because then I know what I'm looking for. Now, she has this little ribbon, which I think on the picture, it goes round her middle. So it's basically sort of a little ribbon, sort of with a bow at the back. I don't think it's really necessary. You could use it for a hair, you could use it for anything. And you've still got the ribbon that she was packaged in, so you could use that as well. So let's have a look at her stand. Now the stand's got quite a bit of articulation, which is nice. Look at all this movement here. Just a basic sort of stand. I think it just says near harmonia there, but it's very tiny. and we plug it in. You get a lot of these stands with a lot of the anime figures you can get, which are quite good because you can angle and position. So if you wanted sort of the doll to be doing something a little bit different. So if we just clip her in, that's quite a nice tight clip. Sometimes they're not. And I want her straight, obviously. I can just bend it down to about that level. But let's see if it does it. You would have to hold it down. But yeah, you could sort of have her flying in the air there. So the stand is quite good if you're messing about with photographs. So that's a nice stand actually. And it feels quite sturdy. Sometimes this isn't so sturdy, but that does actually feel quite good. That felt a bit loose there, but I don't think, can you see? I don't think I've pushed that in far enough. It needs to go in further, but I'm not pushing it at the moment. Hair! Let's get back to this wig. Now, the hair feels lovely. Oh, in fact, that is so soft. I mean, you can see just how it moves to see how soft the hair is. It's on a wig cap, as you can see there as well. It is quite well done. There's quite a lot of hair in there. You can see how many layers there are. There are no layers on the very back bit where it pulls on, but that's because, well, you're not going to see that. You wouldn't have hair sort of from under there, would you? Because obviously the shape of the head is sort of a little bit more unusual. So let's see how easy it is to put on. Oh, well, it just went on. Some wig caps, I know you know yourself, you've got to really pull on. And that is her hair, and how she's just adorable. I love her so much. I definitely want the others to go with her. I won't think twice. I'm not going to be doing it just yet. Got a few family things coming up, so I need to save a little bit of money. But come on, it's so soft. I mean, it doesn't really even need brushing. It's got this lovely little wave in it, and it just sits. I suspect it might get a bit static if you're not careful. Me messing about, I can see there's a little bit of static there. But that is our Near Harmonia bloom, and for her price I think she's exceptional for you to be able to get a Harmonia bloom if the others are out of your price bracket. I still do aim to get a proper one. Yeah, we will see. I've been looking around. I did see one actually on one site. It reckoned it was a UK site, but the price was a little bit too cheap for me, as in it was a bit mistrusting. So I don't know. Again, because my son orders quite a lot from Japan when he does things. I'm going to get his advice if he knows that it's a company that's worth sort of buying from. But there she is. I'm going to go and take some photos now because, again, how cute is that going to be for photos? I need to find her some little shoes. She might have those little boots. I might not put any clothes on her. But I think, well, these clothes, as in shoes, should I say. I think she needs a little cardigan, doesn't she? If nothing else, I think I need to find some pretty sort of yarn. In fact, I got some yarn recently, if I can reach it. Yay. We went to the Wensleydale cheese factory. I know, everyone thinks I'm mad when I've been to a cheese factory. But we found a little wool shop. So I bought, I can't remember what the colours were. These colours. Now, this is a gorgeous, really fine yarn. It is wool, but lilac would suit quite nice. I could just go cream. They didn't have a green when I looked, so I just wanted to see that. Oh, they're not that cheap, but they are gorgeous, and I wanted some wool that was sort of British grown, for want of a better word. So I'm hoping to make some pretty doll stuff with that. So I got that anyway. So she does need some bits. Obviously, a hat's going to be easy. I reckon she's going to be. Here we go. I've got a hat. This is a Midi Blythe hat. Let's see. Yes, she's going to be Midi Blythe size for me making the hats, which is quite nice. So in fact, that's it. She's pinched Midi's shoes. Now she's pinched Midi's hat, and here is Midi probably not being very impressed. So the head size is approximately the same. Obviously the body size is a lot longer. And yeah, look at that. The feet are almost identical. There's not much. I mean, her toes curl up a little bit more. But apart from that, I think they're almost identical. And I suspect, looking at the clothes, she's wider hipped. I mean, Midi's not really got any hips, has she? So she's a lot wider hipped here. But if it's a full dress like this, in fact, I bet Cheryl's dresses, well, if you've seen my last video, I got a little dress. Oh, about the middies up here. this little dress here that was from Cheryl. I will have to try it on and see at some point whether it will fit this girl, and then I can sort of, if it's not quite right or something like that, I maybe could ask Cheryl if she can make me some a different size. But I do need to get some crochet done for her, so I'll pop my little middies over there. So that is it. I might keep that on for a bit. This is our Near Harmonia Bloom, Miss Chatty here. Hope to get her sisters at some point, and I'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please plop a comment, and I'll see you all very soon. Oh, dropped a hat off. Bye bye for now.